You tired?
No, let's go live right now because we are live on YouTube. It's the DoubleDay Pro League Takeover. Boys, we had ourselves a very, very interesting week. And I promise not to screw this one up. I have succeeded, and now we're streaming live on YouTube. Hooray! I'm not going to have to make another one. With me this week, Iron Horse Charlie, our commissioner. Dave, how are you this evening, my friend?
Doing well, doing well. Um, had a battle. I had to make daily moves. I had to make some trades. I had to do some crazy stuff just to compete,
Mhm.
and it paid off in the end.
Yeah, man, you got yourself a big win over Owie this week. Nice job there. Does anything stick out in your mind as like something pivotal that happened in this matchup?
Well, it came down to the last 2 days.
Okay. You win by
Awi was
one
up.
strikeout. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I won by one strikeout on the K's.
One
Um,
RBI.
the single RBI. I got a stolen base to tie that category.
You got two steals. One of them, oh,
Is
this
that
is on the
today's? Is
week.
that
That's on
today's
the week.
stats? Yeah,
No,
let's
that's
do
just on the
today's
week.
stats.
Just today. Yeah, you get the steal out of Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez came in and got
Tie
a
that
stolen
up.
base for me, which was great. He's been a little dormant on the bags lately.
Neither one of you guys hit very well. 136 and 175. How'd the pitching look? Not great either, but you do love the 14 strikeouts here that win you that
Right.
category by one.
Well, and
Yeah.
then I got a couple of smalls, a win and a saves hold
Hmm.
because I mean those small counting stats are big because it gave me a little bit of room.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know we were watching this toward the end and it was like 6-2, 6-3 for a minute there, but it does finish with pretty much everything in your favor. You get this one here, you get this one here, and you get that to tie. Um, Shame about the whip, but you kind of live with it. And runs is really the only other issue. And oh well.
Right, and the whip was uh, won by Awi like from the beginning. He he
Mhm.
he dominated me on the whip and the runs. He was really taking the most of the counting stats. Oh my gosh, I saw that hillbilly Bixen back there. There's a quick blip of the hillbilly Bixen live.
What's that?
The screen shares that we were doing earlier
Oh, yeah.
out
I
in
got
Willard, New
you.
Mexico. So in the
Yeah.
in the hillbilly double-day league, I mean, give me a break. It's going to be a tough battle for anybody that comes into the league. So,
No doubt.
um, hey Joe, take me through the first 3 weeks of the season, 4 weeks of the season
Okay.
this year, and let the guys know kind of what was going through your mind.
Sure.
Take us through your draft strategy and the results.
You guys, you want to basically know where I went from drafting the way I did to selling my entire team in
Yeah, because
like a month.
I think most of the Yahoo leagues that you joined were just straight up public or
Yeah. Yeah. The
yeah.
other than the bigs in this league, they're all public. So there's six other public leagues. And then a keeper league on ESPN and a dynasty league on Fantrax. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. That being said, um, so week one, well, let's go over my draft real quick. And
Okay.
and it was interesting because I know I had a back end. Yeah, I had the 11th overall. And I got Mike Trout and I got Fernando Tatis on the tournament. And that to me was the foundation of a championship team. Olson, Wheeler, Eloy, Freddie Peralta, just stacking up best player available um, for a 5x5. Wanted to get a couple of good pitchers in. Iglesias is the first closer off the board. McClanahan, we'll get to him later. That's an interesting one. Romano, Anderson, I'm just stacking pitchers at that point. DJ LeMahieu was a really great find late in the 12th round. Chris Sale in the 13th is great. Trinan's a disappointment because he got hurt. Kyber Ruiz has been great at catcher. I plan on having him the rest of the season. Luke Voigt has been a roller coaster, but it's been more good than bad. At least I think so. Ahmed Rosario, Akil Badu, Spencer Torkelson, Joe Odell. Those are four extreme disappointments that I was sad didn't pan out the way that I think they should have. Andrew Kittredge can fall into that as well. Cal Quantrill, Alex Cobb, fucking forgettable pieces, honestly. Jock Peterson, Jonathan Loizaga, Luis Arise, and Denelson Lamet. Yeah, forget it. That was pretty much it. Like, I was fine with the draft coming out of it. I was like, okay, I've got a lot of pieces that I like.
Okay, so let me see. Like, you traded Olsen,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Trout and Tatis.
Trout's gone.
Arguably
Trout.
the best player of the decade.
Yeah, but that was last decade.
Right, and
I've also probably got the best player of the next decade.
Exactly. Olsen, Wheeler,
Mm-hmm.
Jimenez.
Gone.
Gone. Iglesias?
Still on the team.
Yeah.
Still on the team. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see him as a trade piece. McClanahan went early.
Yeah, McClanahan went early, and that's the one I probably want back if I'm honest. Like, that's the only one I really regret. He's a really sexy pitcher, and if he's in the draft next year, he's going to be on it.
Well, and and those are the gems in the draft where you're in the 9th round and you pick up a guy that's a keeper for next season.
Yeah, and that's just the point. Is that I think I don't know what I traded McClanahan for off the top of my head, but I can find out in a moment. Yeah, I know that what I was disappointed in was that I'm looking at the draft next season as the be all end all possibility, right? I'm all in on next season
right,
to win this thing. Let's find McClanahan. So I got McClanahan, Jesus Luzardo, or no, I'm sorry, it was McClanahan and Pagan, a 19th and a 21st, for Alex Kirilloff and Josh Staumont, a 6 and a 19.
Yeah.
I would much prefer that 6 to be something a bit higher, but it is still 3 rounds of value from where I drafted McClanahan in the first place.
Sure.
So I'm not upset with it. I just feel like if I had held that piece longer, I could have A, kept him, or B, sold him for a lot. So that's the only one I want back, really. Everything else, spot on. Love it. Love what I got.
Yeah. And then so now there's some disruption, right? I mean, this is the first year that we've had keepers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first year that we've been able to trade draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a wild card that comes in. And we're going to see how this goes. So
yep.
You still have a chance at the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sort of by league design to let the top 8 out of 12 teams into the playoffs. Winner take all, no consolation. But next season, you're going to start out the season great, right?
Oh, I'm going to start out the season 0-0 like everybody else.
0-0.
Right? There's no guarantees for next season. The only guarantee is that I'm going to have a bunch of draft picks in the first 10 rounds. At this point, it's what? Of the 27 picks I'm going to have, is how many in the first 10 rounds?
Yeah, so it's like if you think of magnitude, Bad News is going to feel missing that first pick more than anyone else. So when you double up in the first round, that's when Bad News is going to feel it, and I'm going to feel it in the second round.
You're going to feel it at the 2-3, or I'm sorry, the 1-2. Yeah. 2, 3, and then Bad News again in the 4, 9. Domination in the 4, Underdogs in the 4, Owie in the 4.
Right.
The fourth round is where I'm going to build something. I don't know what it is yet, but it's either going to be an outfield, an infield, a rotation, a bullpen. Something's getting built in just the 4th round.
Right. So so that's an interesting point. So, I think like in head to head, especially like this season was a perfect example where, especially head to head daily, right? Because it's not just, you put your lineup in the week and then you go to sleep like fantasy football.
Mhm.
This is every day you have to be in there mixing it up.
Yeah.
So, I guess my point is that you have to be agile, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
can't just stick to one plan. You think, oh yeah, I've got Murderer's Row,
Right.
and then the next thing you know, your guys, your big bats are hurt or they're
And you've
struggling or something like that.
you've mortgaged yourself into a one side of the ball team where your pitching now needs to pick up the slack, and you've wasted yourself for the first 7, 8, 10 rounds on
Yeah,
getting all the hitters.
right. So you have to assess the league and see
Mhm.
what's happening there, see where the scarcities are not, right? Because
Mhm.
everybody's chasing scarcity to fill that hole, like the catcher spot, chasing saves, chasing
Mhm.
holds. Um, but at the same time, there are places that people aren't paying attention to, and like you're taking advantage of the innings limit,
Yeah.
right? So that gives you flexibility.
And this is just another example of the way that I'm going to play the rest of the season. If we can take a look at my matchup here. I'll just take this. Thank
Yeah,
you. Uh, this is what I'm going to do. And I still threw 60 innings, right? Like I still threw 60 innings, and that
right.
was
That's
more
solid.
because my ERA and WHIP were high enough that I could relax and do it. But realistically, I threw Sandy Alcantara, I threw Taiwan Walker, I threw Mackenzie Gore. Those three today won me strikeouts this week.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
because you're going to get your smalls from your relief pitching.
yeah,
They're getting
this
your saves holds. That's just a ridiculous amount of saves holds. Because I know earlier in the season we talked about saying you have to have at least 10 to dominate that category, and here you are with 13.
13 yawning my way to 13.
And it looks like domination is
Like I still
pushing
haven't
that
even
category.
no, and that's the thing. Trade of Birdie. It was Birdie for Taylor Rogers. Taylor Rogers was his last reliever, and the reason that trade happened, and it involved no draft picks, was A, because what is he going to do with one reliever against
Right.
anybody,
Right.
right? And what is my strategy going to be? Just that, to utilize guys like him. Now, I have since turned around and turned Taylor Rogers into a draft pick, but that's a whole nother matter.
Oh, sure. But you still have Bednar, and Bednar did well for you
Bednar's
this week.
Bednar's sticking around. I have to wait until the deadline to see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Bednar, Dominguez, Scott, Iglesias, and Jorge Lopez. Those are the five I've got right now. Oh, Camilo Duvall. That makes six.
Well, see,
Um,
here's the thing though. If Bednar does get traded
yeah.
and he goes into the setup spot, he's
Mhm.
still the same
He's still
guy.
getting holds. Yeah, he's
He's
still
getting
getting holds.
holds, and it doesn't matter if the next guy blows the save. You
Mhm.
still get the hold.
Yeah. And Felix
I mean, that's
Bautista
something that I learned.
fits that
That's
to a T. I like the idea of putting Felix Bautista and Jorge Lopez together, because when they go 8, 9 for the end of the game, I'll get a hold from Bautista
there you
and a
go.
save from fucking Jorge Lopez.
Right.
I'm looking forward to things like that. My team's going to shake up some more. I still have pieces available for trade, guys. They're still available. I'll be happy to flip a 13th round pick to a 10th round pick. I don't mind that. But yeah, like Mackenzie Gore can absolutely be had. Otherwise, I might just drop him at this point because it doesn't sound like anybody wants him. And next couple of starts don't look appetizing enough to me. Taiwan Walker is anybody going to actually like this dude? Look at this. This
Yeah,
is a
he's doing
piece,
really
guys.
well
This
this
can,
year.
this can be had. This is a good starter on a first place team with a sub 3 ERA who just shut down the Marlins. He shut down the Reds. The Astros start was good. This start was good. Find me a bad start. Is it this one? 6 innings, 4 earned. Is that the bad start that Taiwan Walker has had that scares people away? What's wrong with Taiwan Walker? Somebody come give me a 10th round pick for Taiwan Walker and your piece of garbage. I don't care. Joe Ryan still sits out here because somehow Bad News wanted to defend dropping a dude whose ERA is close to 3. His next start's in Milwaukee. I don't think I'll start him because I don't have to. Trevor Rogers has the opportunity to stay on the team for one more day. because tomorrow he is facing the Pittsburgh Pirates at home. If he doesn't succeed in that start, he has no business on this team, and he will become free agent fodder. And if anybody wants an NA guy, I got Volpe and Rodriguez. They're 1 and 1A. Either side of the baseball is the best guy. So come get one of them. I don't care which one.
Okay, so let's take a look at the standings.
Yeah, let's do that.
And what happened with your matchup? And I know that I was watching this. It was pretty much 4-6, 4-5, and then today it exploded. I mean, taking a couple categories on Sunday when a guy feels like, okay, it's not that bad of a beating, and then the next thing you know, you lose another category. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So let's take me through this.
Here today, it was all about the pitching. It was all about the matchup between Taijuan Walker and Sandy Alcantara in Queens, in Miami, and it was an absolute pitcher's duel. 14 combined innings, 11 combined strikeouts, 0 earned runs. I don't get a win, but I didn't need it because all Domination had was that start from Nick Pivetta here this evening. And if Pivetta pitched well, you see he got 5 strikeouts and he lost it by 5. He would need double-digit strikeouts to timing at that point. I was concerned a little bit about the whip after I saw Mackenzie Gore get fucking gored, essentially. But when Pivetta was getting rocked in the second inning, I felt very confident that this was going to be a 7-3 win.
Yeah, that's a costly. Let me interrupt for a second.
Yep, go.
That's a costly 2 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ironically, both of the wins I had this week, one from Alcantara, one from Taijuan Walker. So that's essentially my 1-2 going forward, guys, and that's all I need to make the minimum is those 2 guys. Unless somebody decides that they would like to have Taijuan Walker on their team, because I'm not keeping him. I can go find another one, or I can rotate guys until I find another
one. Okay, so let's see what happened with Bad News.
Mm-hmm.
Went up against the underdogs.
Yes, he did.
Keeps the underdogs in 9th place.
Looks to me like there wasn't much movement on the stats on Sunday. It looked pretty as you were, you know what I mean? Because the strikeouts is interesting. It looks like underdogs was pushing hard to try to get those strikeouts, but did not quite get there. Maybe one more reliever or another start during the week would have gotten them there. That would have made it a 5-5. As for Bad News, the homers is nice.
Well, this is a quality.
No doubt
on the pitching, because not only did he get the 15 Ks, he actually brought his ERA down and didn't really hurt his whip too badly, and picked up a save hold and a win.
Yeah, and that kind of solidified the save holds because, as we see,
this makes it even worse. This Quintana start.
Yeah, the Quintana start wasn't good. It probably, but it doesn't hurt him, right? Because he wins ERA, he wins whip. You would have liked to see him strike out a few more batters, go a little bit deeper into the game. But when you've got your choice of Sunday starters, you can do far worse than Jose Quintana.
All right, looks like Curly Shuffle is going to retain 2nd place.
Just real quick before we leave this matchup with Bad News and underdogs, there's something I want to point out here. The power in Bad News lineup doesn't look to me like something that'll compete with some of the better teams in this league. And I understand that Bad News is the best team in this league record-wise right now. But there's something to be said about this team only hitting 9 home runs while scoring 51 runs and driving in 40 RBIs. Like, it just seems like this would lend itself more to a team like in the bigs, where you would see a whole bunch of doubles and triples out of this team, rather than seeing a ton of home runs. When the team leader in home runs has 2 on this week, and it's 3 different guys, that's great, but you only have 9 homers. Like, you're not getting them from DJ LeMahieu or Jeff McNeil or Luis Ariz or even Gleyber Torres at this point. Like, those guys are all average hitters. and that lends itself to a team that's going to hit 250 over a week. Great, but it's just one of those things I want to watch going forward is whether or not Bad News continues to lose home runs.
Interesting.
Yep.
How
Let's go
about the
to
pitching staff?
the pitching staff for Bad News. I mean, it's okay. Herman Marquez, what are you doing? What are you doing with Dylan Bundy? Get that crap off your team. Alec Manoah is a stud. Is an
I mean,
absolute
in
stud.
fairness, Bundy's probably a streamer.
Probably, but he wasn't a good one. And like, when was the last time you thought Dylan Bundy was a good option?
When you need 4 strikeouts.
Yeah. Okay.
So he won by 2.
He won by 2.
So
Terrific. That could have been somebody else though. If that's a stream, it could have been a different pitcher who pitched better.
understandably, that's understandable.
Kershaw was great. Ohtani was great. Nola was great. McClanahan was great. I mean, those 4 alone are all you need every week. I promise you. You do not need to be throwing Dylan Bundy and Herman Marquez at this, even though Herman Marquez was good too. But that guy's a hand grenade every time he starts. Just these 4 are all you need is Kershaw, Ohtani, Nola, and McClanahan, and you're set. The great thing about that is that since you have an offense of Soto, J-Rod, Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, Wander Franco, Gleyber Torres, like all those fucking guys are potential keepers. You can't keep all of them. And I have your first round pick. I'm willing to bet that one of them is going to be mine, at least.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Curly Shuffle. Curly Shuffle and Chico's Outlaws getting a 5-3 win for Chico's this week. That's a good thing. Keeping Curly in the hunt here and keeping him just in second place, like a little bit away from Bad News. We don't need all that happening. Fan is in second place really with the divisions and everything. But this matchup specifically, let's take a look at today. So a 10-tick batting average win for Chico's. Man, these guys hit the crap out of the ball on Sunday. Look at this.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
16 hits and 15 hits, 47 and 46 at bats, a 3.26 and a 3.40.
It's essentially 5 more hits in 31 more at bats for Curly Shuffle. And that little bit right there is the difference. The 5 for 31 stretch after he got to 275. So it's a 161 batting average in that final 30 at bats that gets him from 275 to 306. Otherwise,
Anderson,
oh man,
start. But K's were tied.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got
this is insane. The fact that they have wins tied and strikeouts tied and save holds was 5-4. Like that's
all. They're all flippable.
Here's the thing though, Chico. Like when you're that close in save holds, why am I seeing 3 blank spots in this pitcher spot? Like there's an entire slew of dudes on the waiver wire that can get you a hold and that can tie you this category. And then it's 5-2, and that's a hell of a lot better on a second place, like really good roster team than like great job getting the batting average and great job tying strikeouts and wins. Those are not losses. But that save holds thing, that kind of bothers me on a Sunday when you've already got Diaz, Holmes, Montero, and Sewald. Like, go pick up Adam Ottavino or Seth Lugo or whoever like is going to be setting up for Diaz if you think that Diaz and the Mets are going to win the game. You know, you have to be on top of who you think is going to win the game and how often they've been in how often they've pitched in the week. But
okay,
still win. Win's a win.
Fanman and Maris.
All right, that's a 6-4 win for Fanatics. Again, I'm looking at this Sunday matchup here, and I see David Peterson and Carlos Carrasco, Drew Rasmussen and Robbie Ray in the lineup, and you could go get dudes to try to get that save hold. Like that's the one thing that I think people are overlooking, the ability to go get that stat on a Sunday because you can. ERA is close. I don't know what happened during the week. The bad start. Luis Garcia, I suppose, is the worst start. that and David Peterson, but they're not horrible starts, especially when you're throwing 67 innings.
Well, Sonny Gray didn't do so great this week.
Mm, no,
Bieber
Sonny Gray
less
was
than
not good.
expected.
Bieber was not good either. But I mean, again, this is another example of like you don't need to throw all of these guys in order to have a good week. Verlander, Freed, Pablo Lopez, Shane Bieber, Tony Gonsolin. You got to throw those five guys. And sometimes you don't have to throw all five of them. If they have a bad matchup, if one of them's in Colorado, you leave them alone. Um, on the offensive side, I love these two offenses. That's always fun to watch, right?
Oh yeah.
15 and 14 homers, 41 and 40 runs, like that, 6 and 5 strikeouts. That's a fun week to watch, man. On Sunday, what happened? Nobody hit, but two homers from Fanatics gets him the homers category. Those home runs came
Well,
from
look at those
George
8 runs.
Springer and
Hey,
Kyle
Maris.
Schwarber.
Maris made it tight on the runs by
Mm-hmm.
scoring 8
Yeah, but
and
still to
hitting a
lose by
bomb.
one, that kind of hurts, you know? You make a good run on a Sunday and you lose by one. It's kind of heartbreaking.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll
But
kill you every time.
here's one stave hold that he got on Sunday to make it 4-3. Like, I just feel like you should be dropping David Peterson after his start or, getting another arm in there because there's when you're that close, you need to get that stat when you're fighting for playoff and potentially playoff. We're gonna do Cheetos and swag money. Is that the last one?
Cheetos and swag.
That's a 6-4 win for Cheetos. Um, looks like he kind of dominated the offensive side of the ball. This is a very stereotypical, like, I have a really good offense, you have a really good pitching staff type matchup. Credit to Cheetos for only throwing 37 and 2/3 innings, but also getting 5 save holds. So hats off to him for like essentially putting together the strong enough offense to win this week and the wisdom to go after the save holds because getting 3 from Lang and 2 from Chafin is the difference here. I just start to wonder at what point like guys who have 1 or 2 relievers, what are you either you need to get rid of some of your starters in order to bulk that up so you can compete about against people that are not me because not everybody's competing against me every week for that category. That category, you either have to punt it completely and delegate those roster positions to something that you think is an ultimate strength that you can win every single week to counterbalance, or you need to bulk up on free agent relievers to try to get that category from everybody else that is not me.
Well,
Iron,
thanks a lot, Joe. Since
yeah,
I
man,
came in second in saves holds, now you got everybody chasing that category too.
you're welcome. They traded out two closers this week.
Yeah.
Like it, I had 13. The next highest is 5. Or
I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
this is
7.
something
You
that
had
we just
7, and then like 5 dudes had 5. There should be somebody jumping
right.
up right now
Yeah, let me go
going, wait a
back to that
minute,
because
there's still more to be had here.
it's 5-5, 5-4, 5-4, and threes and a punter.
Yes. And Domination knew he was doing that. He said out front when he dealt me Taylor Rogers, he's like, this is the only guy I have. I'm not going to compete against anybody else. I may as well
Right.
get something. So he traded John. He got John Birdie for him. And Domination, what happened this week? What happened this week in the steals category, bub? Oh, I'm gonna take this. I'm taking this. Boom. I beat you in steals with the guy I traded you to win you steals. Bam. Hi, Iron. What you doing?
Throwing in a fatty. You know, Hillbilly Baseball League, you got to have a
Hey,
chew in.
I will tell you what. Frank Bucco can say what he wants. Competition here is strong, very strong. And I'm watching these standings right now, Iron. And that's the thing that intrigues me the most. Look at these records. 53, 72 and 5, 53, 70 and 7, 55, 70 and 5, 54, 67 and 9, 56, 66 and 8, 57, 67 and 6. Look at this. Sixth place. 59, 64 and 7.
Yeah, it's about
That's
it's 6 games out because you've got or 5 games out.
it's 5.5 games out.
Well, he's got two. He's got two there, so that's a full game.
Uh
He's got two over your 5. He's got 7 over 5. That's 2, so that's a full win. So he actually has 60 to 55.
hmm. Okay. Well,
Anyway,
either
it
way.
doesn't matter. But
Either way,
the
it's
thing,
4 or 5 games out, 6 games out. Like that's plenty of time with 8 weeks left.
well, here's the
Anybody
thing.
can
Look,
have
I mean,
this.
look at this.
And
So
here's the thing. I'm
you've got
here.
seventh and seventh is tied. Well, seventh and seventh both get in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bottom 4 that don't get in the playoffs.
Right. It's everybody beyond here. And if
Yeah.
you're telling me that this is all going to be in the race, that from sixth to the end is essentially the race, then I understand the thought of like 8 get in, 4 go home immediately.
Well, the other
There's a
thing is,
race of 6 people for 4 spots. Or I'm sorry, 6 people for 1, 2, 3 spots.
well,
Right?
the other thing is though is if you're
7.
able to flip the switch and get to 500, where domination is just barely hovering at 62, 61 and
Right.
some ties.
Yeah.
If you get to 500 and get in the top 6, then you're solidifying your spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because it's going to be a fight. I mean, I won what 7-2 this week, and I moved up 1 spot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a crazy run to the finish here, man. It's been a crazy
Yeah.
run this far already. And I'm telling you right now, y'all don't want me in the playoffs because in the playoffs, it's win or go home. So I have a roster full of dudes I don't give a shit about. I'll
Well,
drop everybody to try to win a stat.
but the other thing is it's like it's fungible for you or whatever. I use that word too much, but you have a like I said, agility on your team.
Mhm.
You know, you can drop guys for
I
this
dropped Cody
this
Bellinger today.
this
You want to know why I
category.
dropped Cody Bellinger today? I dropped Cody Bellinger today because I dropped him for Jorge Alfaro. Now, Jorge Alfaro is the right-handed hitting power catcher for the San Diego Padres, who just happened to be opening up a 4-game series in Colorado this week. Him, Luke Voigt, Ha-Seong Kim, I think I snagged, but I think Ha-Seong Kim got hurt. Oh no, I snagged Ha-Seong Kim in the bigs. But those two, uh, and Connor Joe. Those are the 3 guys to watch this week as guys that I'm kind of relying on to win me this week. Alfaro,
Okay, so
Voigt, and Connor Joe.
I'm going to take this back real quick, and I'm going to talk about. Let me move this stupid
Oh, do it.
thing.
Who do I have next week? Oh, I got bad news. I got bad
So
news.
here's the thing, right? We have daily moves. So as soon as the clock ticks, midnight, or it's really like 1 o'clock.
It's 1 a.m. your time, midnight my time, 3 o'clock East Coast.
Yeah, so these are early morning picks. 19 minutes into the day, 20 minutes into the day, he's making moves. Yeah, so Bundy was
a streamer. Looks like Herman Marquez was also a streamer. Okay, and if you're chasing strikeouts, like these aren't a bad option.
Right, and then Ian Anderson was a streamer. Late night for tomorrow for Chico. But here again, right? Last night, 2 minutes in, Domination's making a move. It's the bigs. An hour later is making some moves. You Dog's making moves. It's the bigs making a move. Bad News makes a move. I mean, these are trades, but still, these guys are making moves.
Yeah, the trades pop in at 1 o'clock, and then Underdogs gets his waiver claim right after that.
And so, if you have holes in your lineup, or you want to get a guy that you really are thinking is going to make a difference for you during the week, you have to lose some sleep
Yes.
in this league. It's just
Either got to
crazy.
stay up late or you got to get up early.
Yep. There's another one. 1:01 a.m. Louis, who's that? Irons Louisville Bats.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I lose sleep. I wanted VR.
Yeah, man, that
No,
guy's
yeah, he didn't
interesting.
do that great, but I'm trying to pair him with Sterling Marte that got hurt.
Well, Starling Marte,
I mean,
VR's
not
on the
Sterling, but Sterling.
Angels
Yeah.
now.
What's that?
VR's on the Angels now. By the way,
Oh, I mean, I'm
would
trying
you
to pair
be?
him with Trout because they're hitting 1 and 2.
That makes sense. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
Um,
sorry. I get as soon as I see that. I don't know. He's got Cubs or Mets or whoever the hell he's been on in the last 3 years.
he's kind of been a mess for the last couple of seasons. All right, let's
My
take a look
bad.
at Monday. What is Monday bringing us? The start of that 3-game series in Colorado is going to put Luke Voigt in the lineup. It's going to put Jorge Alfaro in my lineup.
Well,
And
that's I mean, you planned ahead.
yeah,
You made these moves on what, Saturday?
one of them was Saturday. The next, and then the Alfaro one was this afternoon when Cody Bellinger wasn't in the lineup.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like Alfaro. You'll notice like the guys that some of the guys in different lineups, they're good hitters. They just don't have the plate discipline.
Right.
And
Right.
that's the same thing with Alfaro. When I saw him a couple years ago, I've been watching him, and I saw him swing the bat and his approach at the plate. I was like, man, this guy can hit.
Mhm.
But he's chasing bad pitches, So as they spend more time in the league and they learn that plate discipline and they get around other players that actually hit, and they teach them, no, you don't swing at bad pitches. You swing at good pitches. You foul off bad pitches that you can reach, and you keep going forward. If you want to succeed in the game. So that's just the evolution of a hitter, and it takes time sometimes for these guys to figure that out. Other guys, they pop in the league and they already have that plate discipline, like Harper.
Harper's a great example. Trout's a great example. The
Yeah.
best of the best are good at what they do. I'm sorry, I'm just setting my lineup for tomorrow in the
Oh,
bigs.
starting to working and doing the podcast at the same time.
Yeah, man. You got to
Multitask.
multitask.
Right.
I multitask for a living.
Well, I appreciate you letting us do another Iron or DoubleDay takeover.
Hell yeah, man.
It's great to have you in the league, and it's added a new element, and yeah, it's different with the ability to trade picks,
Mhm.
and then also I think it's interesting to think about what are the teams going to look like, next year and the year following, because are guys doing a 2-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan?
Is anybody other than me doing that?
Well, you definitely have a 2-year plan, and
And it
the
extends
second
beyond
year
that. Once
plan would
once the
be
second year comes, I'll be able to plan the next 3.
right, right,
I have to know what I get walking out of the draft.
right, and then how crazy it gets with trade picks and pieces that you want to add,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean,
Because I could certainly do the inverse of what
right,
everybody did.
maybe you're giving back picks next season
Mm-hmm. No
so
doubt.
that you can add pieces.
Yep. To
So
solidify
it
myself and
adds
go for the.
flexibility and a new dynamic to the league. It's difficult the first season to kind of understand what's happening, especially when, like I said, you get the wild card of Rasputin coming into the league. But it's fun. I think it has added a new element to the whole dynamic in the league. So it's been a great time.
I've loved being here. I have loved being here. I've loved competing with these guys, and this is I welcome any one of you that are watching Doubleday guys. Come on the show. Let's talk. Let's meet each other. Let's hang out. I'm promise I'm not a bad guy. I'm not gonna make fun of you much.
But yeah,
And I
you have
promise,
to
if
have
you
a
don't
thick
want to come, if you
skin.
don't want to, and listen, I love one of my best friends, Frank Bucco. I understand that he could be a bit loud and overbearing. If you want to come on when he's not here, I can make that happen. I can't guarantee it'll be the whole time because Frank just finds a way to like text me out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, buddy, when are we gonna Zoom together?" Well, okay, right now, let's go. Like, but
Yeah.
no,
Well,
DoubleDay guys, you're absolutely welcome in the Zoom chat.
hey, and the other thing is,
I put the link in the text message. So
the other thing is that we have 2 spots open. Was it 3 spots open for the combo league?
yes, we could.
We want to go 14 teams,
Mhm.
so it should be 7 teams out of the DoubleDay. And I know it's a little bit deeper of a dig for us because we only have 12 teams.
Right, and one of them
Versus
already comes from the
16.
big, so you really only have 11.
Right, that's true.
Right, so unless I need to play on the DoubleDay side, which I'm fine with, I don't have a problem dominating you guys next season in 2 leagues rather than just 1. That'll be fine. If I have to beat the shit out of you both in 2 leagues, that's fine too. The question I have though
it's nice. I mean, I like that you're playing the spoiler this season.
yeah. I'm not playing spoiler. I'm gonna make the playoffs, bro. I'm making the playoffs.
That's a spoil. You're gonna spoil somebody.
That's not spoiling. That's competing for a championship in my first season.
Okay.
If I make the bottom 4, then yeah, I was a spoiler, and I was one of the best damn spoilers ever. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fish in that pond, and yes, you're hurting me, but you're also hurting yourself with the podcast. You know, and the information that we talk about, and the different ideas and strategies that we're using in the league. I mean,
I welcome cross-pollination of ideas and strategies and theories on this hobby that we have, because there's so many ways to skin a cat in this league, in the bigs, and in fantasy baseball in general. There's a 1,000 different ways to skin a cat, but it's breaking down the nuance between those styles. And
then like we talked about this earlier offline about just the dynamic of a head-to-head daily league.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the RotoWire podcast with Jeff Erickson, and I can't remember the guy that does the NFBC leagues. He's the one that started that crap, and he was on there with them. And both of them, they're in multiple leagues on multiple platforms, and both of them in unison were in agreement that head-to-head daily is the most difficult league for them. And
no doubt.
I've known that from the beginning, but I got it straight from their mouths, because I know that if they came to the DoubleDay, and that's why it's one thing to talk about it, and it's another thing to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
We're like the Big Ten in basketball in the NCAA. We're going at it, and we're throwing elbows, and we're doing whatever we can. I guarantee you we have the most dynamic chat. We have the most dynamic chat of any of the
I love the chat window. That's without a doubt. The Bigs does not have that. No other league. Well, one other league I have has it on Facebook, but even that's died in the last couple of months. So.
I mean, we were in there talking smack left and right, you know.
No doubt.
And doing what we can to rattle opponents or to celebrate our little victories that we have. Mm-hmm. So it's been fun. And then, of course, we have the U-Dogs that gets on there and cries about how his team's not doing so well, but wins week after week.
Yep, W's are W's, kid.
Yeah, he gets plenty of wins.
Take the W's when you get them.
Yeah, even if he's losing, it's like a 6-4. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate it, and I know it's getting late, so.
All right, we're going to hit it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Ring that bell that lets you know when we go live or when we upload new content. Tomorrow, I invite you guys to watch the episode of It's the Bigs podcast. Episode number 38 is going to be dropping tomorrow. I took down a really big win, and I promise you, I'm saying this right now, down the barrel of this camera. I've got a monologue coming up against my opponent. And it is going to be a pipe bomb of a promo. Ugh. My words are. It's late. It's time to get out of here.
Outtakes.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at It's the Bigs Podcast. And as always, guys, I couldn't do this without you. I couldn't do this without the audience. I couldn't do this without my league mates and without those in the DoubleDay. So again, thank you all for so much for making this what it is. Iron, thank you for being here, my friend. And until next time, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. and it's always real fun in the double day.